and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. Today, we take a look at a release from a band that has helped define the Teutonic thrash metal movement. Now, we heard a new one from another of these bands earlier this year, and it was an Album of the Year contender. So now we have stuff from some of their counterparts. Yes, it's Kreator and their new album Hate über Alles, released June 10th on Nuclear Blast. It's the band's whopping 15th studio release, and their first since 2017. You know, as much as metal doesn't really have trends, I have noticed a couple around here lately. We've done a ton of German stuff, and a ton of bands that haven't released anything since 2017. Blame the pandemic, blame blind luck, either way, it is what it is. Now, anyone who knows thrash metal knows about Kreator. Since their first album way back in 1985, they've helped bring the massive German thrash scene to the rest of the world, along with bands like Destruction, Sodom, and another band we will hear from this year, Tankard. For Kreator, it's all about the riff and one of the most unique voices in the entire metal landscape. Millie Petroza's vocals range from squeaky to shrieky, and the band only benefits from it. Now that said, their new one is decidedly good, and there's some problems with it. So let's dive in and take a closer look. First, the good stuff. This album is chock full of amazing riffage. If you got into this band through the riffs, you will not be disappointed. Petroza and fellow guitarist Sami Ilicernio do not hold back. The title track alone has some of the coolest thrash riffs of the year so far, pushing a chorus that is at once ferocious and extremely catchy. Other songs like Strongest of the Strong, Conquer and Destroy, and Demonic Future also hold true to these riffs. However, they are backed up by some interesting slower parts. Crush the Tyrants has a much more mid-level chorus, and album closer Dying Planet utilizes spoken word and some plucked chord progressions to end things very nicely, like a little bow on top, which is something you don't often say about thrash metal. I'm also all about the drumming on here. Call me biased, but it's great. Longtime skinsman Jürgen Riehl, stage name Venter, shows that he has all the skill and precision in the world, even as he approaches his 56th birthday. Once again, I turn to the title track for a prime example of this. After the lull of the instrumental album opener fades away, Venter launches into an amazing display of notes on his double kicks. The guitars soar over this, and the bass, provided by ex-Dragonforce bassist Frédéric Leclerc, is able to follow up and really nail down the rhythm section. Each musical piece on here really comes together. The puzzle fits, creating a thunderous sound wall, yet with enough know-how to take advantage of the nuances here and there when it's needed. Now, as much as I do enjoy the ferocity of most of the record, my favorite song is actually one of the slower ones. Midnight Sun is a very enjoyable listen, with guest vocals coming courtesy of German pop new wave artist Sophia Portinet. Now, she's definitely an out-of-left-field choice in terms of genre, but the pairing works on multiple levels. She brings an ethereality to the table that, as good as he is, Millie Petroza just can't replicate. His harsher vocals mix with her soothing ones, producing this vocal soup that is incredibly pleasing to the ear. Now this, combined with the rest of the band's rougher elements, is nothing short of fascinating. I love it when metal bands aren't afraid to tool around with the genre a bit, and this is a fine example. Now for the stuff that didn't impress me as much. First, the lyrics. I have a major problem with a good deal of the wording on here. Now there's one song in particular that I detest just due to religious reasons, but I have issues with simple poetic non-existence on some other songs. Also, the idea of world is bad, death, doom, and dying is getting a little grating, especially in the thrash genre. I mean, surely there are other themes we could be exploring, right? I'm not saying you have to sing cutesy kid stuff, but for heaven's sake, something new would be nice. I also have a small issue with the production of the album as a whole. There's a slight hollowness to everything that becomes apparent the more the record goes forward. Now, if this were back in the 80s, that would probably be expected, but this ain't the 80s. This is 2022. Hollowness can be dealt with, and it wasn't really dealt with. I will say it's not a major annoyance, but it is something that does feel like somewhat of an oversight on the production staff's part. All in all, Kreator have released a very good, if not great, thrash album. I don't think it'll stand up there with the pantheon of the genre, but it's good for what it is. There are enjoyable riffs, ferocious drum parts. The drumming on here is very, very good. And Millie Petroza squawking as only Millie Petroza can. Kreator fans should enjoy it. Newcomers to the band will be curious about it, and casual listeners like myself will basically give it 1 thumb up. Or at least that's what I give it. Translated to our scoring scale here, it's a 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and do not forget to subscribe for more metallic reviews. Next time I will be in my new apartment. No more of this, and hopefully I will have my podcast mic up and running again, so hopefully the audio quality will be a little bit better. We will be breaking the new place in with an album by Sabaton offshoot Civil War called Invaders. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I will see y'all next time.